Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaste. Welcome to the next session on Voxology. So, in the last few sessions, we have seen in detail how important is abdominal respiration. So, to understand abdominal respiration, which is pivotal for an easy voice movement, we did a lot of exercises where we inhaled for a prescribed number of counts and we exhaled for another prescribed number of counts on several swaras of the octave. We also did the same application on several shrutis, not in one pitch, several shrutis we did. We are now moving to the next important aspect, which is voice control, for which we will have to understand a few set of exercises. When I say set of exercises, there are several sets of exercises which help you to understand the movement of your voice. So, when we understand the movement of the individual voice, the singer also finds it easy to understand what he or she should do to come over the shortcomings. So, in a nutshell, we are going to first understand our voice capability. Now, is voice capability just a single aspect? No, it is not a single aspect. There are several aspects to voice control, voice facility, or voice ability. So today we are going to understand a particular exercise which is going to sort of cover major areas towards focused areas of voice facility of the individual. In order to embark on that journey, we shall understand a particular application called pyramids, which is common in certain styles of vocal practice. But here we are going to do the pyramids with a very particular understanding of voice application, not doing the pyramid which you are going to listen to, not in a way which is commonly handled. We are going to pay a lot of attention to the way we are going to place the jawline, the ease of the facial muscles, the precision of the swaras, and then how you produce the voice. So, why are we talking about the precision of the swaras or swarasthanas? The reason is, when you have a perfect swarasthana, the resonance is almost 100%. Even on sustained notes or even on a very fast movement, the individual components of a melodic movement are the swaras. So when there is precision in the swarasthanams, whatever be the movement of the melody, whether a sustained single note or it is a beautiful melodic movement set to a rhythm, or even if it is a very fast movement within the rhythm, the components, which are the swarasthanas employed for the movement, is clear, precise, and when applied in the right voice modulation and voice control, the resonance is 100%. That's when the singing of the vocalist reaches the heart of the listener. So, we are not just going to concentrate on voice application alone. We will also concentrate on improving the individual precision of the swarasthanas. So, in order to achieve this, we are going to borrow several musical scales of the South Indian Melakarta or Sampurna Raga schemes. I'm specifically using the word musical scale and not ragas because here we are going to employ only plain notes, no ornamentation of the notes or the intervals between the notes, which is the backbone of the raga. So we are not going to use the raga. We shall use the name of the raga to indicate the musical scale, because the musical scale is an arrangement of swaras from the 12 swarasthanas gamut. So in order to identify a particular arrangement of the ascent and that of the descent, we are going to use the name of that raga to indicate the particular musical scale. So we use the word pyramids. They are both ascending and descending. We shall start with ascending pyramid in the musical scale Maya Malava Gaula, the 15th parent raga of the current 72 Melakarta scheme. Since it is the raga or the scale that we start or we take the first step towards Carnatic music learning. Okay? So, the pyramid we are going to talk about, as I mentioned, is the ascending one first. So, this is G sharp, and we are going to hum on the Adhara Shadja of Shruti G sharp after a deep inhalation where we consciously push the stomach out, and as we start humming, we are going to contract our abdominal muscle. Shall we start inhaling? Please repeat. Please repeat. Pay attention. I hope you are contracting your abdominal muscle while singing, which is your exhalation. Please do it once more. All right. Now, the voice movement has to have a particular, application for which you have to loosen your jawline. Jaw intrusion is one of the major hazards to voice movement. So we cannot avoid the jaw or the role of the jaw while articulating, but the jaw should play the role only for articulation, not in the movement of the voice, which is a very subtle tact to be habituated. Very difficult because nobody can show you, you cannot visualize the movement and get corrected. You will have to, by awareness of your own voice movement, you have to habituate. I shall explain now. Sa and sa. So the most simple step towards this is to tell yourself that you are going to activate the pit of the throat by respecting akara. Pa, not pa. So first the vowel a has to be aimed at. All the other vowels will follow. All vowels can be pronounced without pulling back the cheek muscles. A, E, and not E. E, A. Was the A heard clearly? Could you differentiate between E and A? O. It's O, not O. So these things cannot be changed overnight, and these applications are common and should be applied for all systems of vocal music in the world, because this is anatomically the best way to activate the cross section of the throat, which is very important for the easy movement of the voice. So I would like now, before we start the ascending pyramid in the scale Maya Malava Gaula, we shall just sing Sa and Pa in one breath, total open mouth. All right, please take a deep inhalation. You may start. Sa. Now Pa. So we can cut short the assonance and try and do Sa and Pa in one breath. Sa, Pa. Shall we repeat, please? Deep inhalation. Once more, please. Now, I would like you to glide up to Pa, which means you first articulate Sa. Please watch me. Sa, Pa. So that Pa was fully open-throated right from the time my lips came together for Pa. Sa, Pa. So actually I can read your mind. So the doubt is, do we have to open the mouth so much while singing when we articulate? You don't have to. While practicing, when you do this, the pit of the throat is activated. Shall we try now again? Deep inhalation. Sa pa. Again. Please repeat. Once more, please. So I would like my girls to do it individually. And why girls? Because you are on a very compatible Shruti space, vocal space. Will you start, please, Shruti? Very good. Meghna. Very good. Tamarai. Very good. Now, the three of you, will you please repeat? Very good. So I hope you have understood how much we have to open. Now, I don't know if you really noticed, it was not pa where they pulled back the cheeks. They didn't. They loosened the facial muscles. They dropped the jaw. They didn't hold the jaw down. The moment you tighten and hold your jaw down, it would look like this. Pa. This is holding the jaw. Pa. Loosened and gentle. So this is the application we are going to develop by applying the ascending pyramid. So as an introduction, we will request the students here to do the ascending pyramid in Maya Madhava Gowda. You may please watch them how they are articulating each swara without pulling back the cheeks for ga, dha, ni and re. Shall we start? Please take a deep breath. Sa re sa, sa re ga re sa, sa re ga ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Very good. So, no ornamentation, no gliding, no using the intervals for any raga bhava or for any emotional entity of the ragam being brought in. Totally plain notes. The arrangement is called Maya Madhava Gowda. Now we are going to do this about 3 times non-stop, and this time I would like everyone to notice that the volume is same. The decibel level is same from sa, sa till that when they do the pyramids. Alright, shall we try to bring in that? 1, 2, 3, inhale. Sa, re, sa, re, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, re, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, 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 ga, re, re, ga, ma, ga, re, re, ga, ma, pa, ma, ga, re, re, ga, ma, pa, da, pa, ma, ga, re, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, ni, da, pa, ma, ga, re, Very good, very good. So, we have heard 3 ascending pyramid application in Maya Madhava Gowda. You have literally even seen how it was applied. Before we go to the next application, I would like all of us to have a very deep inhalation and slowed, slackened exhalation, concentrating on the abdominal muscle, no singing, only deep respiration, abdominal respiration, 5 cycles. Requesting all of you to join us. Please relax your shoulders. So, are we done? Yeah. The most important vowel is A. The next important vowel that we have to pay attention to is Im. So, we did the pyramid in, Swaras. In Swaras, we had the vowels A on Sa, Ma, Pa. We had the vowel E in Ri and Ni, Rishabha and Nishada. And we had the A, like the A in have in English word, Ga and Dha. So it is not Ga. Please, let's all correct ourselves. It is Gandhara, Ga. It is a very important phonetic for the voice. And thankfully, our system is based on these three vowels, Sa, Ma, and Pa for Akara with articulation. It's not A. We articulate Sa and then respect the Akara. At the end, Ma. The lips come together. We articulate Ma and end on A. Also, we articulate Pa for A. A very important point to understand. For Madhyama and Panchama, for the phonetic letter Ma and Pa, the positioning of the mouth is bringing the lips together and tucking them. Ma, Pa. You're tucking it inward, both the lips. But Ma is a nasal resonation, Pa is not. It's a beautiful, beautiful application of phonetic and understanding. How we are anatomically, by default, built in and blessed to produce these sounds with this accuracy. Then the ikaras on Rishabha and Nishada. I'm repeating so that we understand it better. The Gandhara and Dhaivata are pronounced as the A, Ga, not A or E or A. It is in between, which is very good to activate this part. Gandhara, Dhaivata. We say dha, dha. It's not the, dha. So these corrections will help you a lot in reducing the effort on the voice. So you may ask me, how is it going to be efforted on the voice? Because the moment we bring it down to ga and dha, the pathway of the vocal energy which is coming out is not completely available for the energy to come out. The moment we allow the hollowness inside the mouth, which is called the vestibule, the inner freedom for the vocal energy produced here to come out fully, which means use the entire area available, which is the built-in resonator for the human body. Like the sound box of the instrument veena, violin, every instrument has a sound box. And for us human beings, the inside of our mouth is the most important built-in first resonator. We do have supportive resonating areas. In the lower octaves, we start with the abdomen, the chest, then this area. So we say the base, the model or the mid region, and the head region. So as and when we are doing certain exercises, I will be giving you a lot of information like this. But of course, the focus is on pyramid. But you should also understand why, what are the other benefits, the related benefits of the pyramids. So, to understand that, we also should know how in our system two major vowels and two in-between sounds like one is really helping us, get hold of the movement of the voice. And our solfa syllables, our swaras, are designed accordingly. The names of the swaras, of course, are ending with A. Shadja, Rishabha, Gandhara, Madhyama, Panchama, Dhaivata, Nishada. And we also say Shadjam, Rishabham, but preferably, I would request leave the akara open there. Shadja, Rishabha, Gandhara, Madhyama, Panchama, Dhaivata, Nishada. This itself, there is a lot to understand the way we pronounce. Very good for the voice. So we did it, the pyramids in swaras without pulling back the cheeks. So we got the right R's, we got the right E's, not E's, E's. We got the right not A. Okay? So now we are going to respect, or we are going to learn to respect Im. Im has the key to a lot of factors and aspects of voice application, which has not been respected enough. I will have to draw attention to this aspect here. Several singers, while singing, when the Sahityam demands Im, it is usually manipulated as O. Sharano. If it is Sharano as a Kannada word, it is okay. Sharanam for Sharanam. Sharanam. That has to be done if the word is Sharanam. Just because the voice is not cooperating, certain banis, certain styles have just ignored the Im, gone ahead and come to a level where Sharanam, Sharanam. Please pay attention to that. It's very important because Im is a sound which is called a closed mouth application in voxology, where the mouth is closed and the sound is coming out through the nose. When the mouth is closed, can the ears bring out the sound? No, we have not been designed like that. So it is through the nose. But it should not be totally nasal. Without a constricted facial application, if Im is developed with an ease, in fact, with a smile. With a smile, Im resonates all over the face and not only in the nasal passage. So, let us do the pyramids in Im now. Okay, children, let's concentrate on how we smile and do the pyramids in the scale Maya Manava Gaula in Im. Please take a deep inhalation. Shall we repeat this about 4 times? You did very well. And you also concentrated on the decibel level. It's not easy to achieve that in Im. In Swaras and Akaram, it is still easier. In most people, in most vocalists, a control of volume in Im or to keep it even, it is difficult. So let's concentrate on that aspect also. You're doing well already. 3 times non-stop. Please take a deep breath wherever necessary. That was very good. Perfect. So now what should you do now? You have to relax and apply about 5 cycles of abdominal breathing. Relax. So just to recall what we discussed in the first few sessions, when we talk about abdominal breathing, we have to be very careful in avoiding the involvement of shoulders in inhalation. Please do not inhale like this. Don't lift your shoulders. The moment your shoulders come in, your abdominal muscles will refuse to be part of your respiration. For a healthy living, for singers especially, abdominal breathing is the most ideal respiration method. That we call it yogic breathing. For singers, it's very important. Otherwise, you end up having a shallow breath control. Singing, you need a lot of breath support. Okay, so we now did in the scale of Maya Malavagaula, ascending pyramid in Swaras and in Im, closed mouth application. To drive home the point that we need to drink a lot of water. So the question is, lot? 5 liters? 6 liters a day? No. Between 2.5 to 3 is ideal. Not at one go, through the day, and you taper it down towards the end of the day. Start the day with 2 glasses of water of room temperature. So now, So that all of you understand the point, I would like all of you to have a sip of water, please. So, I'm not trying to say that you have to keep drinking water while you do your practice, but I want to drive home the point again that we need to drink a lot of water, especially when you're continuously singing, when you're sitting in an air conditioned room. More probabilities for you to dry out. So, drink some water. All of us are going to drink now. Sometimes, as we sing, the listeners can understand that our voice is dry. I did just now. I felt that my dear ones who are around me, at least two of them had a dried throat. So we drank water, now we are ready. We are now going to try ascending pyramid in swaras again. With the mouth open, loosened facial muscles, but reducing the volume after Panchama as much as possible. What we did was even volume, same decibel level from the lower Adhara Shujja to Tara Shujja. Now we are going to try to reduce the volume after Pa, not whispering, which is very bad for voice. Open mouth reduction of volume. So we are going to understand one more aspect. I told you pyramids have a lot of benefits. So we are going to do the musical scale, Maya Malavagaula, ascending pyramid, controlling the decibel level from Panchama upwards, not muting or not whispering. Shall we try? Yeah. Take a deep inhalation. Swaras, please. Sa re sa, sa re ga re sa, sa re ga ma ga re sa. Slowly reduce the volume now from Pa. Ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa ga pa ma ga re sa. Very good. Sa re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re sa. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Fantastic. Shall we try again? 2 abdominal respirations, after which we start. Sa re sa, sa re ga re sa, sa re ga ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da ni da pa ma ga re sa, sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni da pa ma ga re sa. Very good, very good. So, let's discuss how this is going to help us. So, voice control 1, volume control 2. These are major elements of vocal dynamics. So, volume control, the bhava, or the depth, the throw in the voice, all these come under voice control. But without the volume control, there is a voice control also. Voice control generally means singing. The brain controls the movement of the voice. That controlling of the movement itself is called voice control. By itself, it's a different chapter. But the dynamics of voice, in that, classification, volume control is very important. So, volume control with the mouth open, not manipulating the vestibule by bringing the jaw or whispering or crooning. That is not good. Especially for Indian style of singing, crooning is not compatible. Whispering is very bad for any voice. Maybe occasionally to bring in a particular emotional effect in the voice, you may whisper, but I'm requesting you not to do that. It's not good, especially while singing. Whispering is not good at all. So, always learn to control voice with the mouth open so that the pit of the throat, this is where the voice is phonated, the entire area is activated. So, you must have heard, certain sayings like in Tamil we say Adi Vaithile in the Padunga. Vayaril Nindum Padu in Malayalam they say. Have an abdominal base for your voice. It actually means abdominal breathing. You can't sing from your stomach, can we? We cannot. Voice is phonated here. It comes out from the face. The mouth, right, which is in the head. So, which means voice is produced here. The resonating areas which are supporting the main resonator, the mouth, are different according to the Shrutis. The abdomen, the chest, the modal area, we say this part, and then the head, of course. So, this is the right juncture for me to request all of us not to use the word false voice. In South India, we say Kalla Tonda. There is nothing like that. You can imitate different voices and we say Kalla Tonda for mimicry, false voice. But while singing, if the usage of head voice is called false voice, let us please stop here to use that term false voice. There is something called a falsetto. In opera singing, the particular area, the head voice alone is strengthened. But our Indian music is an application of combination of chest and head. So, to my knowledge, to my limited knowledge, opera and specific soprano singers, only soprano singers, those who belong to that area, they use only head voice. But for all the other styles of vocal music in the world, there has to be a very judicial, effective, and refined way of natural movement of chest and head voice. We are not going to think of, okay, let me now switch to the head voice, come back to the chest voice. While singing, do we do that? No, we don't, right? We are not supposed to. Only when there is a problem, you go to a voice trainer, a voxologist. Then, as part of the therapy, as part of the rectification, you hear the words head voice, chest voice. Otherwise, you're not supposed to think of them in the sense We don't need to think of them. God has created us anatomically. The movement is not in our hands. It has to happen naturally. But certain styles of singing focuses more on one or the other area. Like in Carnatic, South Indian Karnataka style of classical music, the more focus is on chest. Again, I'm talking about this because there are a lot of voice problems in these singers. It is not my speculation, it is the result of research and practice. The style demands that there is a lot of vocal depth and intensity in the movement. So, in order to bring that in and to have the abdominal resonatory area as a support, the singers try to confine the movement to the chest, and over a period, the higher areas are tried at from the chest, which becomes shouting. Because the false voice concept is lingering as a huge hindrance. So, here at this point, it is my duty to tell all of us that we don't have a control over the voice moving towards the head. The one and only most repeated example is the nasality when you have a common cold. When you have a sinusitis infection, the voice is very nasal. Are you able to avoid that? No, because as I'm talking, my voice is resonating in the head. I don't have a control because God has built me that way, built you that way, built all of us that way. So, only when there is a problem, a person who's experienced has to point out to you that you are refusing, you're not allowing your voice to go to the head. Not go to the head, to move to the head for resonation. All right. So, let us be very clear that vocal movement is a combination of movement combining the lower respiratory tract and the upper respiratory tract and all the areas here, the hollow spaces, the sinuses, the space here. So, please follow the exercises which are going to help you regain, if at all you have lost the natural movement, the easy movement of the voice. Whatever be the style, especially the Indian style, we need both these areas, please. Strengthening the resonation or the application in the head voice is important. That is what we have to focus on, not avoiding the head voice. The voices, I am using the term voices, die out much faster if the head voice is not used or if it is ignored. All right. So, to achieve that, this particular application, where we are reducing the volume after pa, is going to slowly remind the body, hello, I'm there, use my head region. For which, in the forthcoming sessions, you will see that not only in G sharp, we are going to do the same thing. In A sharp, so very methodically, one note at a time, we are going up pyramids, ascending pyramids, one note at a time, one shruti at a time, increasing order of shrutis, increasing order of swaras. So we are very carefully treating the vocal cords as a rubber band. God forbid, we will not snap the rubber band. We are only going to augment the natural elasticity of the vocal cords, which is the greatest blessing for a human being, especially for singers. And our exercises are going to help us retain the elasticity, slow down the aging of the elasticity with the right application, with this logical and scientific, methodical application. Shall we have one more application of Im, ascending pyramid, in Maya Malava Gaula, volume reducing after Pa? Shall we? Yes. Please take a deep inhalation. Very good. Right? Wonderful. Very well done.